It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John. Man, here we are off into a brand new week. Out of the gates on a Monday, just like the ponies down at Oakland. No, wait, they're not running anymore. Well, they're still running. They're just not running, in Hot Springs. Anyway, it's the start of a brand new week, John. Great thing about it, we still got our same great sponsors, including our good buddies over there, Greg Bradshaw at Sherwin-Williams House Paint. Man, if it wasn't for Greg Bradshaw and Sherwin-Williams, this show might already be over, to be honest with you. 836-8125 for all your painting, interior and exterior house painting needs, folks.
It ain't over yet?
It ain't over yet.
Oh, okay.
We still got a little bit more way to go.
And we got ProMed Ambulance. Give those fine folks a call at 1-800-634-0436. Serving Randolph, Lawrence, Ashley, Union, Dallas, and Calhoun County. Get signed up on their Priority Membership Ambulance Care Program.
She ever said that to you before? Just a little bit more?
All the time.
There you go. Hey, also, our good friends over at the Shopper's Guide, J.J. Lindsay.
836-3022.
Yep.
Give old JJ a call for any of your printing needs that you have, be it business cards, score sheets, no trespassing signs, get off my grass, whatever you got.
Keep out or come on in. He can do either one.
He can do it all.
And, folks, and don't forget, you can always find us on our podcast anywhere that you can find podcasts, like Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Any of them out there, just search Remember When with Uncle John. Got to be sure and add that with Uncle John part to it, or you get 1,001 Remember Wins. But you want to hear Uncle John and his trusty sidekick, Kelly, that's the one you search for right there, man. You can find them all over the place, including YouTube and really even on Facebook with Yes Radio Works. Well, it's not .com on Facebook, but Yes Radio Works.
And you won't be able to listen to us live much longer, so
yep,
search it in and listen to us.
Go ahead and find that podcast while you can.
50 years ago, my daddy had a service station in Chittister.
50
right there in the sharp curve, Chittister Gulf Station.
So we're talking about right there, very early 70s.
And he was one of the only welders around there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a young man that had a dirt track thing going in his life, and he had a 55 Chevrolet, and he was living up at White Oak, and he needed a little welding done. And my daddy, he brought it down to my daddy's, and my daddy worked on the roll cage for him. And every time my daddy welded something like that, my daddy's name was Alfred, he always put an A somewhere on it with a welding, put an A on it somewhere.
Right.
Well, I run an ad not long ago looking for, I got my 55 Chevrolet streetcar, Miss Gladys.
Yes, sir.
Got the 427 minute, the big bad car. And I run this ad on Marketplace, looking for any kind of 55, 56, 57 Chevrolet stuff. And I had a guy call me. And he said, man, I got an old dirt track car you can have if you want it. So I went down and looked at it, made the loop around it. The first thing I saw was that A on the side of that roll cage.
Wow.
And I said, man, tell me about this car.
You ain't going to believe this, huh?
And he told me the whole story about him living at White Oak in the early 70s. He didn't know I was from Chittister. And my daddy had welded on that car. And that just... my daddy's been gone. He died in 1976. It'll be 47 years in July. So he told me I could have the car. Well, I had to have it.
Oh, absolutely.
So my good friend Randy and my brother and I got it home last week. I'm going to do a little work on it this winter. I ain't going to spend a bunch on it, but I'm going to put me it ain't got no motor in it, but I'm going to put me a motor in it, a little stock motor, and I done rounded me up a bunch of sprint car tires, and we're going to do a little body work on it, try to straighten out some of the dents, and put a little paint, cheap paint job on it, and have a little car to ride around the woods up there,
There you go.
But it's pretty great. It's a great thing, man, to get something that my daddy worked on 50 years ago.
Yeah, that's an outstanding. That is unbelievable that it worked out like that and everything. Now, I can't help but to ask, because I've been in a couple of these reclamation projects myself. Was this it's just in the backyard, but it's got, grass around it kind of sunk into the ground kind of thing? Or was there's a tree growing up through the hood?
There was all of that. There was a tree growing up through it we had to cut. It was sunk in the ground. We took my brother's 65-horse Kubota down there. And my ace, Randy Stennett, got it up out of there, got it loaded for us. And I'm telling you, but we got it running through the car wash there in Chittister and got some of the muck off of it. But it's not too bad. It's going to be of course, I've started a new diet now, so I'll be able to get in it pretty easy, by the time comes.
A new diet?
A new diet. A diet.
A diet.
Yeah.
Well, good Lord, I didn't know we was going to take drastic measures like that.
We got to.
All right. Hey, that's going to wrap up Remember When with Uncle John here for today, but we just getting started. We'll be right back here, same bat time, same bat channel. We're ready to do it all over again tomorrow on Tuesday. We'll see you then, Johnny.
See you tomorrow, Kelly.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.